Good morning and welcome to the Monarch Academy. My name is Everson and I'll be working with you guys for the next 1 month and hopefully for the rest of the year and the years to come. But for now, it's time that we get to know each other. Like I said, I'm the principal and the main academic coach for the Monarch Academy, specializing mostly in mathematics and accounting. So for the month of January, you will be getting classes for free on our YouTube channel, where you will have a chance to find out, is it worth to pay my money so that you can join this class? I don't know, but I believe I can be able to help you. But of course, for me to be able to do that, you also should be willing to be helped. So it goes both ways, right? I'll do my best and I hope also you do your best. So, like, if you have watched the video on the step study system, if you haven't, you can check it out, but I'll just summarize what the step study system is. And that's what we'll be utilizing in all our classes. And once you master the step study system, you'll be able to apply it in all the other subjects that you are doing. Not only will it work for maths, but for accounting as well. So if you are grade 8, I'm pretty sure it's a little bit of a transition from grade 7, which is primary school, to now secondary school. But the transition is not that big of a deal. The only difference now is probably you have more subjects to do, but once you learn how to manage them, it will just seem like grade 7 all over again, right? So you don't have to worry about this, man. We can kill it. We can kill it. You learn and don't put too much pressure. Things start out. It depends. You might be one of those students who just straight out of the gate focused and going all the way, or you might start out slow and then gain momentum as you go. And that's what we are hoping for, that things improve, right? The more you work on something, the more you get better at it. Even now, as I'm doing this class, I know I am sucking a lot, but I'm hoping as the more we talk to each other, I'll get better and better at doing this, right? I'm a little bit nervous. I might be honest with you, right? So let's see, according to the step study system, this is what we have. All right. So according to the step study system, it's simple. What I want to teach you to be able to do is link the syllabus to the textbook and to the examination practice. So probably for some of you coming to grade 8, it may be the first time you even hear about the syllabus. I know there is a syllabus in grade 7, all the other grades, but I'm pretty sure teachers don't really share that part of the studies with you. So maybe it's your first time to hear what a syllabus is. So a syllabus is simply a description of what you should learn for that particular subject. So each and every subject of yours that you do, whether it's maths, accounting, geography, physical science, whatever subject you're going to do, it has a syllabus. And that syllabus has to be accessible to you. You should have it. Because once you have it, you will be able to know exactly what you're expected to know throughout the year, so that when you are practicing, you know what to do and where to go, right? So the idea of using the step study system and to get the best out of this system is have yourself the syllabus. So for instance, for grade 8 and 9 mathematics, right? For mathematics, there is the syllabus. Once you register to the Monarch Academy website, you'll be able to download this syllabus and keep it for yourself. If you are privileged enough to get somebody to print it for you, even better, right? Now, this is your syllabus. From there, like we said, you want to put together to harness the syllabus and the textbook and the exam practice, right? So you will notice that there is a textbook also that will be available for you for download. So that's the Mathematics Grade 8 textbook. So this textbook is provided thanks to the South African Department of Education. So it's in sponsorship with SASO and Ukukonda Institute. So they developed this particular book, and I recommend this book because it has some in-depth explanations and easy to follow explanations, right? So you use this textbook in conjunction with your syllabus. Now, I am not a proponent of waiting for the term to come to an end, for you to start practicing and familiarizing yourself with exams. So I am an avid supporter of knowing that as soon as you know what the syllabus wants, so let's say in unit number 1, you use the textbook to learn what the syllabus wants, practice some exercises in the textbook, and then familiarize with yourself with how the questions will look like in an exam setting. So I immediately want you to go and look at some question papers. So once you register at the Monarch Academy, you'll be able to have access to some of these specimen question papers, yeah? And many other question papers from 2010 to 2018. So this is a grade 8 paper for maths, as you can see, for a specimen paper designed by the Ministry of Education of Namibia here. And it will show you what the questions will look like for each topic, right? So syllabus tells you what to do, textbooks help you to learn what to do, and specimen paper helps you familiarize yourself with what the exam will look like. So that when you go in the exam at the end of the term, there are no surprises, eh? And you don't want to start learning to see, oh, this is how the paper looks, it is 1 hour 30 minutes, these are the things that I'm required to do only when you are writing. No, you want to know all this way before. So if you utilize this system, you can use it for any subject, and you'll be able to master any subject you learn by applying the step study system. So like we said, we recap what the step study system is simply all about. Yeah, it's simply all about getting your syllabus, which is the S, which I have provided for you. You get it on the website. Getting a proper textbook. So textbooks vary. You can always choose whichever textbook you're comfortable with. Yeah, but for the sake of this class, we're going to use the textbooks that I provided. And then E and P represent examination practice, which I want you to be doing all at once, one after the other. You look at your syllabus, look at your textbook, do some exercises in the textbook, and then try out some exercises from the actual exam practice. Simple, right? So let's now get started into the lesson without wasting so much time. So for the month of January, we're going to cover 3 topics, right, in your syllabus. So let's look at what those topics are. So our syllabus is like this. It's broken down into grade 8 and grade 9 stuff. They are combined, yeah? So for grade 8, we're going to look at topic number 1, which is numbers. So you can see here. And then from there, numbers, they go all the way from A to H. And then topic number 2, we're also going to look at algebra. So I'll introduce you to things that I'm sure you have heard when you're going to high school. Yeah, you start adding x's. Where is x? What is x? Do I need to know x? You do need to know x. And we will make algebra fun, that it will never bother you ever again as you go all the way to your grade 12. All right? So deal with algebra, meaning introducing unknowns, letters in your mathematics. So x plus x, x multiplied by x, those kind of things. And then we are going to look at topic number 3, which is money and finance. So on this one, I'm pretty sure I don't have to even worry about it, because you all know kaching. You know, you buy, you go to the shops, you do all of this. So we'll look at also money and finance. So that's what we'll cover for the month of January. So as you prepare for the classes in the coming week, in this week and the following weeks, I encourage you to first look at the syllabus, know what you are going to look at in the following lesson, and try to do yourself using the step study system, meaning you look at the syllabus, use your textbook to try to learn the things on your own. And then once you learn on your own, you will notice that you will get some of the things and you might not get some of the things. So the good thing about that is that now the parts that you don't get, when you do now come to the lesson where we're going to be doing it together, you will be able to reinforce the things that you know, meaning you now know them much better because now we're doing it together. And the things that you don't know are now fewer, and you'll be able to say, oh, this is the part that I was failing to understand. Now I get it. And if you still don't understand, you'll be able to ask better questions because you are prepared. So it is important that you have the syllabus, guys, because that will make you a better prepared student. You cannot come to a lesson without any prior attempt on your part. It will make your learning process difficult. I will repeat that. Try out and practice the topic that we're going to cover in the next lesson before that next lesson comes, so that you learn better. Take that advice. Don't take it. It's up to you, but I encourage you to take it because it will really, really boost your abilities and your learning capacity, right? Because at the end of the day, what we are trying to do is to remove the dependency on me or any other teacher who will be teaching you, is to equip you and empower you so that you are able to learn these things on your own. You want to be an independent learner, right? Everyone wants that. You don't want to be like every time like you want to do math, you be like, yeah, I have to go watch a YouTube video or I have to go look for a teacher. As long as you have your textbook, as long as you have your syllabus, you should be able to do this, right? So let's see what we're going to start with. So you will find this in the link. This is what we're going to cover in week 1. So like we said, right, this syllabus is for grade 8 mathematics. It was implemented in 2017. You will see when you read through the syllabus, when you download it. So this particular week, we're only going to deal with numbers and specific to this part of the numbers, right? If we manage to do it faster, of course, we can add more, but this is what we can look forward to, yeah? Right. So let's get started with our lesson, because, I mean, we introduced each other. I would like to know more about you. You can put comments on the website or comments in the link below. And again, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so that every day, not every day, according to your timetable, you see your timetable, you'll be able to get notified as soon as the lesson has been put up. All right, so let's start applying the step study system. So the first part of our syllabus requires us to learn the calculator skills. Now, this part of the syllabus, I am not going to spend so much time on it. And the reason why is I know a lot of students do not have access to calculators. So what I've done is I've included on the website a calculator emulator. So a calculator emulator is a calculator that you can use on your computer. So as you can see, I have that calculator, I have the Casio. If you're somebody who doesn't like Casio, you can also get the calculator emulator, which is the Sharp. As you can see, both of them are proper calculators, and they may look like they're so different, but they're really not. Yeah, it's easy to use. I will show you. I don't want to mess your head up by showing you each and every function now. It's better that as we meet questions that require a calculator to be used, we introduce the calculator and introduce each concept one at a time, right? But I'll just give you a basic overview of what is happening here with the calculators. All right, so like you see, both of them are like this, right? So all the buttons, as you can see, they have things that are written on them, right? Cosines, y to the power x, x squared. Also on this one, similarly, the main buttons, they have numbers written on them. And then, on top of the buttons, there are yellow functions that are written there. There are also extra additional functions. So in yellow, yellow, even here, it's also in yellow, 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 right? And then, you can also see that there are also the functions that are written in green for the Sharp calculator. Green, 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 like answer green, 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 right? On the Casio, there are these functions that are written in what looks like pink, right? Pink, 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 pink. So, what does that mean? It simply means that because the calculator has limited number of buttons, you have to combine some of the functions on a single button. So what does that mean? For instance, let's look at this particular button, right? Here on the Casio. So this particular button, it's a fraction. As you can see, there's a number on top and the number at the bottom. So we can, if we click it just like that, directly like this, it will give us the function of a fraction like it's showing there. So you are able now to put, let's say, 5/8, right? Good. Now, as you can see, there's also a yellow function there on the same button. So let's say we want to add a mixed fraction, maybe 2.5, 2.5, meaning we want to add 2.5. So 2 is a whole number and a half, which is a fraction. So you can see that this yellow function is showing a number and a fraction on the side. But now, since it's yellow, anytime you want to use the yellow function, you press the shift button. So if we press shift and then we come and press that same button, there you go, it brings out your function here. So now we can come and put 2 and 1/2. As you can see, I'm using my arrows to go up and down, left and right. So if you go left, 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 it will go back all the way to the first, to the beginning. Or you can go right, 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 to go all the way to the end. Up and down. So that's what this function is all about. So that's how to use the yellow and the main button, right? Now the pink keys are used when you have made some storage into your calculator. Right, so let's put equals there. So let's say we want to keep this answer and use it for later. Right, so let me try to use a simpler example so that we don't get confused with fractions. We're already getting too much into fractions. So I'll press AC to get rid of what I've done so far. Again, as you can see, I've gotten rid of what we've done. And you see it's written here, replay, on this button. So I can come back to the left and it will bring me back the function that I was working on, because it's saying replay, meaning if you by mistake press, for instance, here, by mistake, you can go back and replay and see, oh, this is what I was working on, and get your answer back, right? So the replay can work for up to 5 sums. So let's say we have 52 times 9, we get that. We have 100 minus 23, we get that. So look at that. Now there's nothing on the screen, right? So let's try to replay and see what we get. So you can replay by going up, there. So those are the 3 things that we worked on, that we sort of thought we forgot, but the calculator has the ability to replay. So as soon as you put the calculator in replay by pressing up, you can see immediately these arrows show you that there's more things that can be replayed. So down, down, and the arrow again disappears, meaning there's nothing else at the bottom. But once I go up, it means there's something up and there's something coming down, right? There you can see. Beautiful. So replay function, how to use the second function, which is the shift. Anytime you want to use the yellow, you shift. All right. Let's put it like this. Let's go back. So now let's say we want 58 times 998, right? So we get this very big number. So you don't want to keep it in your head, or you write it down on the side. You can store that number in the calculator, in its memory. So how do we do that? So as you can see, there is the word STO here, right? Meaning store. So if I come and press shift and press RCL, it means I'm going to use the function store. Remember, the yellow function corresponds to the button below it, not the button on top of it. Yeah? The yellow function corresponds to the button below it. So this store is working with this RCL button. Eh? All right, so we don't want to keep this answer 57884. It's long. You don't want to write it down. You want to store it somewhere. So if we press shift and store, then we can assign a letter to say, okay, this 57844 should represent letter A, for instance. So if I come without pressing anything, I press shift and I press store. As you can see, store is highlighted here. If I come and press A, immediately it's saying that now this answer is now being represented by letter A. So anytime you use A in your calculations, it's representing 57844, right? 57884. All right. So let's see. Now, what if I want to use that answer? So I can now come and say alpha, because it's the pink, and then A plus 0, right? Just because we know A is 57884. If I add 0, I'm still going to get 57884. And you can see that is what we get. So the store function helps you keep numbers according to the letters here in pink. And then you can now use it for further things. But it's one of those functions that you don't really use that much. All right. So we have shifts, which helps us to use the yellow button, the yellow functions. And again, remember, each yellow function is working with the button below, not the button on top. The yellow function is working with the button below, not the button on top. Right. Now, anytime you store values in your calculator and you want to now start doing new calculations, I always encourage you to clear the memory, because the calculator still remembers, that there is an A there that was put. So how do we clear the memory? The memory of the calculator. Yeah? So this AC clear, it only clears the screen, but it doesn't remove all of these numbers. As you can see, they're still there, right? But what if we want to completely remove everything that we've done so far? So now, for the Casio calculator, that's where you come to the part of setup. Now, let's say you want to clear the memory of everything that we have done so that when we replay, we don't get all this stuff. So now, as you can see, there is a button here. On top of 9, this written CLR, meaning clear. So if I press Shift, since it's a yellow, and press clear, it asks you, do you want to clear the setup, right? Or do you want to clear the memory? So I'm going to make two explanations there. The setup is how you want your calculator to be giving you your answers. Whether you want it to be giving you in 2 decimal places, whether you want it to be displaying line-wise, or you want it to be displaying without the fractions. So I'll show you the setup before, and then we'll deal with the clearing. The part 2 is to clear memory. Memory is just going to clear all the things that we've typed so far, right? So for now, let me just clear everything. Number 3 clears everything. So in most cases, you do not want to clear everything. Yeah? You only want to clear the memory, because the memory is usually what you'll be working with every time you work with the calculator. The setup, you want to keep it at the same setup so that you have consistency when you are doing your calculations, right? So let's see. All right, so if you look at this, if we select number 1, it will clear the setup. If we select number 2, it will clear the memory. And if we select number 3, it will clear everything. So we'll start by clearing everything. So we press 3. So it immediately asks you, do you want to reset everything? If you say equal, it means yes. If you say AC, it means you don't want to clear everything. So we do want to clear everything. So we'll press equal sign for yes. So reset all has been done. So now we can press the AC key. Right. Let's come back again to this fraction. Can you see if we do like this, you see how the fraction is coming out with proper box on top and box at the bottom. You can set it up. For instance, Shift, and we come to setup, right? So setup is so many things, some of which you do not need to worry about at the moment, right? So the basic ones that you use most is number 1, number 2, and number 8. All right. So we'll use the default setup for the calculator, and then we'll introduce newer forms of setup as and when the need arises, because if we try to do a lot of setups right now, we'll end up with too much confusion, right? So like I said, the calculator is not something that you immediately just learn everything at once. No, you take your time one by one, with function by function. So for now, we've covered the basics of using this calculator, this particular Casio. So it doesn't matter which Casio it is, they basically have the same functions. Now, what about on the Sharp? It's the same thing. So this is our Sharp calculator, if it's the one you're using. Again, the yellow keys, they refer to the button at the bottom. And unlike Shift, Here it's saying second function, second f, meaning the second function. That is the second function. And then in green, that's where you use alpha to make use of all of these green items. And again, it also has the store here and also recall here, right? And you also have clear here. When you've done so many calculations, now you want to clear the calculator, the memory, you can also look at the clear button. And again, there's also the arrows, meaning you will be able also to do some replay. So let's do some calculations. 5 times 8. All right, nice. What about if we want to find, let's say we want to use, we want to find the square root of a number. So we find this second function. The square root is this one. So we press that. So immediately the root sign comes. We want the square root of 49. All right, we get 7. All right, good to go. What about if we want 10 to the power 5? So second function, there is 10 to the power x here. So it means if I press and click here, so it means 10 to the power whatever I want. I want 10 to the power 5. My answer is 100,000. All right, what else can we use? All right, let's say I want 6 to the power 5 or 6 to the power 4. So I have y to the power x here, y to the power x here. So if I say y to the power x here, sorry. So you see, as you see, I've made a mistake. I don't have to worry about anything. I just go and clear. So I want 6 to the power of, let's say 2. That gives me 36. So all of these things that I've been doing, can I replay? Yes, you can replay just like we were doing with. And again, as you can see, the moment you start replaying, the arrows come immediately. Right now, it's facing down, meaning there's no more numbers up. You can now only find the things going down. Right. So that's our replay button. And you use by going up. Right? Up is where you replay up. Similar to the Casio, you also replay by going up, as you saw. Okay, so we had 5, it's 56. To the power is this button. So power here is x to the power a square. Here it's y to the power x. So they are the same functions. So here if I have a 6 there, what about if I want square root? So here the square root sign, it's in yellow, it's here. Here the square root sign, it's not in yellow, it's simply here. So if I press that one and press 54, I get the square root, right? Beautiful. So if I go and press AC, so AC here is the same as on or clear here. Right, so if I say on and clear, it will go back to my normal. This one by default, it's showing angles in degrees. Similarly, the Casio also by default, it will also show in degrees. So that D represents degrees, right? Now, it's if I go up, it will replay. Similarly, if I go up, it will replay. Okay. So that's calculator usage, and like I said, we're not going to spend so much time on calculators. I gave you just the basics to be able to do your calculations even as you practice on your own, or as we work together here, so that you know where am I coming up with these numbers. The deep detailed setting up and all that, we can worry about that when we reach the stage where we need to do the setups. So we're not going to deal with too much setting up. So again, also here, it is a setup. The Casio also has a setup. So functions are really similar. It's just the presentation that is different. Yeah, presentation. So think of it as having an Android phone, which is this one is Samsung, this other one is Huawei, or any other brand that you're dealing with. The things that you do are the same, but you do them in a sort of a different they are presented to you, the icons are presented to you in different ways depending on the phone that you're using. All right. Okay, so I personally prefer using the Casio than the Sharp. So I'm going to close the Sharp for now, and we look at our work for today. So that is the part of using the calculator. Select the correct sequence and apply the clear entry and memory keys when appropriate. All right. It's not like you'll be examined like, yeah, use the calculator in the exam. Like we're testing you how to, if you know how to clear. No, you have to just know it so that when you're doing the exam, you know how to do it. And you don't give wrong answers because you forgot to clear your memory or something like that. All right. If for some reason I am moving too fast, you can always rewind the video and watch over and over again, right? Once I'm on video, I will not get tired of speaking and speaking and speaking, right? So please feel free to rewind and rewatch, right? And as we do calculations and examples in here, pause the video whenever you think you need to pause so that you can work out and then you can continue the video. You have control over my mouth as you watch the video because you have the play and stop and pause buttons, right? So control it the way you want. Right, awesome. So let's see one last thing. In the next lesson, because we want to keep our lessons at 40 minutes. So in the next lesson, I encourage you to start. We're going to look at multiples, factors, prime numbers, composite numbers. We're going to deal with highest common factor, lowest common multiple, multiplication, and all that. So I encourage you to read page number 18 in your textbook. So page number 18, that's where we have all the things that are covered on part B of our syllabus, right? Once you are done, you will have all of these exercises to practice in your textbook. You can also go to your paper and see which questions relate to that topic, right? Which questions relate to that topic. You'll be able to see after you do that. So that is it for the first lesson of grade 8, and I hope we can work together and see you on Wednesday as we start to dig deep into now the real mathematics, starting with topic number 1, multiples, factors, and prime factors. Like the video to help the channel a little bit, and smash the subscribe button, and definitely hit the notification bell so that you get to know that my video is up, right? WhatsApp number is 085 3155 844. So you can always reach me on the WhatsApp number. Visit the website so that you have access to all of this material that we have used. The calculators, you will have access to both of them, the Sharp and the Casio. You will have access to the syllabus, and you will have access to all the question papers. There are a lot of question papers. All right. And one last thing is, I hope you enjoy and take this lesson seriously, because once you master the foundations here, all the way until you reach grade 12, maths will be your favorite subject. Don't even come with the attitude that, or the perception that you were told that no, maths is difficult and all that. Don't worry about that. We can deal with this stuff, right? Because of the issue of difficulties in getting calculators by students, the Monarch Academy is starting a calculators and mathematical sets fund. So you'll be able to we'll be able to list to you for free a calculator to use during your studies, but you have to ensure that you keep that calculator clean and safe, so that after you are done with the year, or as you go to the next year, or if you manage to find another your own calculator later stage, we can be able to give it to the next group of students so that they can use. We want a calculator to never be an issue in our education ever again, because it's not right that you have to go and write an examination for mathematics or accounting or any calculation exam without a calculator. It tremendously reduces your chances of getting a good grade like all the other students. So the calculators and mathematical sets fund by the Monarch Academy will be funding and leasing calculators to different schools around the country. So you learn more about the calculators fund on this video, up on the link. On this video, you'll be able to see and learn about the calculators fund, right? So thank you for watching for today. We see each other on the next lesson. Check your timetable to know when the next lesson will pop up. Bye for now. This is Novak's Dead. I'm signing out.